Hey, thanks for stopping by. This is Tom, and it's Tom's Radio Room Show. And I finally got that long wire antenna installed. It wasn't that it was difficult to install, it was just that it was difficult for me to get to it, to install it, because weather conditions have been bad, I've been busy, all kinds of other excuses, which I'm not going to go over. But anyway, this is the kit. I've did a couple of shows on this, showing you what's in the kit. This is from WDX2 Radio on eBay. And the white cord you see here doesn't come with a kit. That's something that I had to use, and I'll tell you why in a few seconds. Okay, when I was installing it, I found that the yellow rope for hanging the antenna up that came with the kit was too large to get into the eyes of the dog bone insulators. So I went with some cord I had from another kit, and it worked perfect. So that was the reason I used the white cord. It's up now. It's 50 feet long, and it has 25 feet. The 50 feet antenna is bare. It's pure copper wire. It's the best copper wire you can get, and it's the best thing you can get for an antenna like this. And the lead-in wire is also stranded. They're both stranded copper wire, and it's insulated, which is this right here, this white wire. And it comes into the house. Now, the one concern I had, since it's not shielded, I was concerned about noise getting into that lead-in before it got to the radio, and then I'd hear all that noise. Well, I've got my computers and everything turned off, so I don't have that noise environment that I was concerned about. Okay, and as you can see, or you can hear, it was doing a pretty good job. That is a time station out of Canada. It's about 8 megahertz thereabouts. It comes out of Canada, and the reception conditions are not that great this morning. It's 8 o'clock in the morning here in Clearwater, Florida, but I'm receiving stations. Now, let's go do some comparison. What I have here is I have my MFJ vertical antenna. It's 31 feet. And then I have an in-fed antenna, which is running in parallel with the long wire antenna. The in-fed is at about 12 feet high, and the long wire is about 15 feet, and it goes northwest in my front yard. So that's where the setup is. The in-fed is brought in with shielded cable, where the long wire antenna, which is what we're testing this morning, has unshielded cable. And that's what you were hearing at the beginning. And I'm going to kind of try to do a quick jump between the three antennas. And I realize the best situation would be to have a antenna switch, but my four channel antenna switch is not working properly. It doesn't make proper contact, so we're going to do it the old-fashioned way, manual. And I will try not to talk when I'm switching antennas so you can hear the radio. So here we go. Right now it's on the long wire antenna. Here we go. Okay, now I will switch to the in-fed antenna, which is just below the other one. And granted, this is not the greatest setup in the world. And if I was going to use one of the antennas permanently or semi-permanently, then I would make a better connection. So. A little weaker, but maybe that's because it changed while I was babbling and changing antennas. Okay, I'm going to go to the vertical antenna, the MFJ vertical antenna. And then I will try to do the same round robin without talking. Vertical antenna. Now, one thing noted, when I first set up this morning, I was getting an S meter reading of about 9. Now it's 0. So conditions have changed already just in a half an hour. Okay, now we're just going to switch. And I'll do the vertical first, I'll do the in-fed, and then I'll do the long wire. And hopefully I can show you which one I'm using, so I'll keep my big mouth shut. Here we go. Well, that was a dummy. No wonder I couldn't receive anything on my vertical. I was attaching the long wire to the vertical, neither one to the radio. Okay, so let's go back and do the vertical again. With it connected to the radio. What a dummy. Okay, now the vertical antenna is hooked to the radio. Okay, the noise is there, but the signal now is almost gone. Which, that's probably just conditions. Let me go back to the long wire and see if it's there on the long wire. Whoops. That was the long wire, now the in-fed. And as you saw, I've changed the volume to, which I shouldn't do. So I'm going to set the volume to pretty loud, 5. If the volume's at 5, and I won't touch it. Okay, this is the in-fed. And again, I connected the two antennas together. I don't know why I'm doing that. Okay, let's go back. Oh my gosh, man. That volume is a little too high when I actually hook up an antenna. Oh. The show should be called Things You Should Not Do. Okay. Try it one more time. Volume's at 4. In-fed. That was the long wire, and now the vertical. So anyway, I don't know if I can reach any conclusion here since I screwed up so many times, but I think in general, the MFJ vertical is still a best performer. It's the tip of that antenna is at 31 feet compared to 15 and 12 on the other two antennas. The in-fed versus the plain long wire, I think was about the same. Again, this is not a very good setup. I convinced myself I'm going to have to spend the $75 and get me a new antenna switch. Now, the other thing that's involved with using a switch is you would want to have good cables, good short cables to hook up the switch to your radio. The other thing about this radio is the antenna connections on the back are just screws. Old school, very old school. They're just screws, so you don't have a connector to attach the antennas to. So that kind of puts another little variable in the situation. But by having the switch hooked to the radio and then the other side of the switch to various antennas, like in this case 3 antennas, it's better as far as a controlled environment for doing the testing. That's the problem I have right now, is the switch that I have, which I think is 4 position. A couple of the positions are flaky. So whatever antenna is on the flaky position, it's not going to seem as good. So that's why I didn't use that this morning. So anyway, this is my attempt. Bottom line, I would say, surprisingly, in my workshop, with my computer off, the induced noise is not that bad, even though this is not shielded cable. So I'm getting away with that. Of course, if you were using this as a mobile field antenna, where you're away from any kind of noise, or most of the noise, it wouldn't be a problem at all. So I am pleasantly surprised how this is doing with this radio in my workshop with the computer and monitors turned off and the wireless internet connection turned off. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Again, you can get this off of eBay from WDX2 Radio. And if you go back to my previous shows, I tell you exactly what comes in the kit. So that's the show. If you enjoyed this show, be it a comical show or whatever, with all my mistakes, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.